Welcome back to House of 1000 Haunts. Tonight's episode is coming from Lawndale, North Carolina, as we are checking out for the very first time a little place called the Haunted Pyramids.
This haunt is handmade by a guy that actually works in movies. He does special effects and set design, I do believe. There was 5 different walkthroughs, all separated. They're not like a straight line, except for 2 of them. And we'll get to that. That's
absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to talk about each individual haunt, because that is what they were. They were separated, which is cool. You don't always see that. But before we get into tonight's episode, let's let you guys know what we're drinking. If you're watching this on the YouTube, you can see that it is a V8 limited edition energy summertime strawberry energy drink. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like it. Let me take a little sippy sip. Very strawberry. I didn't expect it to have lemon in it, but it does have a tang of lemon. Because, I mean, you know, it's V8, it's veggies and fruit and stuff. We are actually, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you can see that it's daylight. It's actually not night, because we didn't have enough memory card.
Yeah, to record last night.
to record this last night when we actually filmed in real time. So we're recording this on the way to another haunt. And Dwayne's drinking the same thing, so there you go. So like Dwayne said, this haunt is basically a handmade haunt. And it's, oh my gosh. And we actually went to this haunt maybe a week or so after Hurricane Helene, which did happen locally. So they did get a bit of flooding, but it was still a good time.
It was a really good time. The place was amazing. I like gritty haunts. I like the more, like, quote unquote, I guess low budget is what you would call it, haunts.
Sure.
But, you know, it wasn't really low budget. It was good.
It's just handmade. So good. Like we said, it's ran by a dude who works on movies. He told us that he's working on 2 films in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. And but normally he does not work on films during the haunt season, because he works on this haunted house, which is so awesome. And you know what it really reminded me of? It reminded me of a movie called Lightning Bug. If you've never seen that, OMGG. Very good movie about a kid who loves to make special effects and makes a haunted house. And just, I love movies like that. Some of my favorite movies are Halloween horror films about a handmade haunted house. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite type of movies, and those are some of my favorite type of haunts. It's just really fun to see, like, what you can come up with just some pieces of wood, a nail and a hammer, and an imagination. And that's what this haunt made us think about. And again, like we said, it's 5 different walkthroughs that you actually like stand in line for, different ones. And you can start at any one that you want to start at. Thank you to the Haunted Pyramids. We experienced a VIP experience, so we didn't have to wait in line. Thanks so much. But we actually started with one called Millbilly Manor. I thought it was Hillbilly Manor at first. Millbilly Manor. As soon as you walk in, there was just a lot of neon paint and a lot of really cool art. I'm not sure if somebody hand painted that there or who did it, but it was really cool. Whoever did it, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. We didn't have any like 3D glasses or anything, but it was just cool in itself. And what I started to notice, like, you would go inside and outside through this walkthrough, and the floors were handmade, the walls, the ceilings were, it just felt like the entire thing was handmade and made with love. And like we said, there was some flooding, so I don't know if any of the flooding affected the flooring at all, but watch your step. Watch your step. But I didn't hate that. It was interesting, just the flooring, but there was also like areas where it would like slant upward or down, or there would be steps. So that was just really cool. It kept you on your toes for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Start to walk through Millbilly Manor, and there was just banjos playing, and I just remember thinking, I do not want to go back home, because listen, we're kind of from a redneck area, and anytime I think of like a redneck character, I just hear banjos playing. So I just heard banjos playing, and I got scared. I thought I just went right back home to Ponce de Leon, Florida. But it was really neat. This one actually walked you right out, and you exited into the gift shop, which was cool. They had a lot of like old school costumes, some t-shirts and toys and things like that. They didn't have any haunted pyramid merchandise, so I will say get some stickers, guys, get some t-shirts, at least like a limited amount of them would be cool, at least some stickers or like magnets or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a t-shirt fanatic, so of course I was like, y'all have any t-shirts?
He was looking for the t-shirts, and there was not one.
There was none to be had.
That's okay. Before we get into the next walkthrough, I didn't even really discuss like how the layout was for this whole like haunt. You drive up, it's like the middle of nowhere, woods, and those are some of our favorite. Those are a lot of what we end up doing, because that's the kind of area we live in. We live in the woods. We're in North Carolina, but you just drive into the middle of nowhere, and it's on the left-hand side. You see a sign, and you see two pyramids, and it says the Haunted Pyramids, and it's just this long dirt road into a big field where there was a lot of people there. I thought that was awesome. I love cities that support their local haunts, because they're fun, and I don't even care if it's all kids, man. It's a good time. But this is good for, you know, people of all ages, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I believe that you could bring a younger kid there,
and they'd be okay.
They would still be okay and have a good time.
And then an adult would still be entertained and not feel gypped either.
I had a blast. Yeah. I think that place was great. And yeah, like Stevie said, when you walk down to where the haunts are, there was a couple,
from the parking lot.
There was a couple of cars down there. Yeah, there was an Ecto One.
There was an Ecto One. There was also the Mystery Machine was there. There was this old rickety-looking limousine that was there. So that was cool. It just kind of guided you into the ticket booth area. They had a porta potty place, which I love.
I think they had four or five
porta potties, so that's cool. They had a little concession area as well in between Millbilly Manor and another haunt. I think it was the Haunted Pyramids. It's really interesting, guys. It was really cool how they had it all laid out, and just had it was like a little Scream Park, but it wasn't like massive Midway or anything like that. It was like a local haunt with a few little haunted houses all side by side. It was really neat. So be sure to check out our walkthrough of that on YouTube. I'll have it linked in the show notes below for you guys.
They had a couple of characters walking around as well.
Yeah, just to kind of keep you entertained, because some of the lines were pretty long, but some of them were shorter, so you could go jump into one of the shorter lines and then wait for the longer one if you wanted to, or get the VIP experience. You just skip the line altogether. That's pretty cool. But after that, we went to the Abandoned, which was actually up the hill. You walked back closer to where the parking lot area was, past the cool cars, and there was the Abandoned. And right as we went to walk into that one, a dude gave us some stickers. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he got upset because he... we were cute. He was supposed to knock on the door, and we were supposed to walk in, but I couldn't hear him. But guys, this place was basically like, it was Haddonfield. There was Michael Myers everywhere. You walk in, and you were just greeted by a dark hallway, and at the end of the hallway you see the infamous scene of Michael Myers standing behind some drying sheets on a clothesline. And I just think that is so simple and effective, and it scared the boo-boo out of my boo-boo. Ooh.
I really liked the Abandoned. I think the Abandoned was one of my favorite sections of
it was so much fun. Like I said, it was basically just you're walking into Haddonfield. They had like Halloween score from the movie playing the whole time. And that part with the sheets, like I said, that was so spooky. There was just different Michael Myers coming at you from different areas, so many different jump scares, and it was so effective. It almost felt like it was the same Michael Myers following you, but I know it wasn't. I know it was different ones, but they just spread it out enough where they weren't like obnoxiously overlaying one another.
It was really good.
Yeah. Once you go through the abandoned, that is one that walks you directly into another haunt called the Carnival of Terror. Carnival meaning clowns. And as soon as you walk in, you're just walking into a rave, basically. It was just dance music.
Yeah. Yeah.
At one point, I did cover my microphone, which actually helped the mic, I think.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. So this haunt, again, you saw the handmade craftsmanship, and very well done, but handmade, and I love that. I love, because you can't get that in itself is part of the fear factor. You don't get that from Halloween Horror Nights, you guys. You just don't. You don't.
There's something about walking into a place that looks so gritty and just
you could put no haunt actors in it and you scare yourself the whole way through.
Creepy because of how it looks, and I think there's something to say about that, in my opinion. That right there adds to the haunt thing, because you can go in some haunted houses and it's very polished, and it looks very polished, and it's like, that's kind of,
it's spooky and quote unquote, I'm using air quotes with my fingers, like gritty, but not like when you make it with a dirty piece of wood and
Sweet Dreams
nail and hammers
in South Carolina at Piedmont is one of the best.
It's a good example of that.
Because the guy that runs it has made all that stuff with him and some of his actors and stuff, I'm sure, just like here. And like, it's just, it really makes you uncomfortable, some of the settings that you walk through, because of how gritty and gross it looks. And you can't get that with like Universal Studios or something like that. You would think that Universal would have it like that, but it's just, there's so much difference. There's so much difference.
There is a thing at being too good. Yeah. So, but again, that's why we even started this podcast. That's why we even started filming in the first place, because we just have a different perspective on things. We're not here to rate anything. We're here to like just bring you the different perspective of why we love every single one of these haunts, and what we love about this one is the grittiness, and
it was so good, you guys.
There's just different haunts bring different types of fear, and everybody finds different types of things scary. So that's what we're here to do, is to show you just the different types of fear, the different types of scares, or the lack thereof scares, or the extreme scares, or whatever you may be into, because we like it all. So we're just gonna let you know what's what, and that's what we're here to do. But we really enjoyed this. There was some places in some of the haunts here where you were like, you just felt like you were walking through the walls, and you had to like suck it in, girl. Suck it in.
It was pretty crazy.
People under the stairs.
Yeah, right. I always say that every time we look like we're walking. It feels like we're walking between the walls.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. In the Carnival of Terror, actually, there was a room that we come around a corner, and there's a small walkway with a bridge, and it's filled with smoke.
Oh yeah.
And then all you hear is the chainsaw going off, and it doesn't sound like.
And the smoke gets thicker and thicker.
Yeah.
And the chainsaw sound got closer and closer.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the one. There was another area, we'll get to that, where I got surrounded.
Bombarded.
Yeah, by people.
Yeah, this was so good though, because I really like the fact that when you walk into a room and you can't see anything. One of my favorite scares that has ever made me feel uncomfortable was one of the first times I ever went to House of Shock. I don't know if you've seen this room or not, but there was a room, it was like this old house, but there was a certain room in that house that was supposed to be the living room, but it was filled with smoke, very, very dimly lit, but there was just a TV with fuzz on, and that's all you could see.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That's all you could see in the room.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And it made you feel like someone was in there looking at you, because you could not see past
where
the TV.
they were.
All you could see was the TV and the smoke in the air. It was one of the most effective scares ever, and I don't even think there was anybody in that room. I honestly don't.
There could have been like a mannequin or something sitting there just to
like
have the feeling of someone standing.
It was
but
really
nobody there.
creepy. That's one of my favorite scares, and it's so simple. It's such a simple thing to do. Just fill a room with smoke. Now, I will say this. Sometimes you can overdo that smoke, and I have gotten choked out by some of the
I have several times doing walkthroughs. I'm like, can I get a water halfway through? Because of that choking me out.
There's like a couple of haunts we've been through, and the fog will be so thick in some of those rooms to where they're trying to get it where you can't see, and man, I can't breathe almost.
But then you can't breathe.
Yeah, I get towards the end of it, and I'm like kind of panicky, like I need to get out of here. I can't breathe. This
one exited the way it like intersected with another one's exit, which ended up being the last one, which we'll get to, was the Haunted Pyramids itself. And it confused me at first, because I was like, wait, there's another way here, but there was a sign right above where it connects. It says exit, so you keep going that way. I was like, okay. So later we encounter what that even meant and what that area was. After that, though, we went back to the main section where we saw a place called Dr. Venom's Snake Pit, and we weren't sure what this was going to be. We thought it was, just another haunt walkthrough with snakes, but it ended up being literally like a little museum, a collection of reptiles and action figures.
Yeah, it was really cool because they were only letting one group in at a time,
which was awesome. So you could like calmly go, because there was a lot of animals.
There was a lot of actual reptiles in there.
Yeah.
And there was a big old snapping turtle right when you walked into the left.
Yeah.
A big old alligator turtle, I guess is what some people call them. Amazing. He had so much cool stuff, but it was real calm in there. And he owned the Dr. Venom showed up when you first walked in, disappeared behind the curtain. He walked through a little bit, and then he came back out.
He did give you a spook, so you still got a jump scare in there.
But
other than that, it was like just visually entertaining.
It was so cool, you guys, because I grew up, my dad always had like snakes and stuff like that, and it was really cool to see a bunch of those snakes. Like, he had some boas in there. Those albino boas and stuff he had were big. There were some big old snakes, man. And the only thing about having snakes is you have to feed them, and you have to feed them live things.
Yeah, so if you can't handle that, you can't handle having a snake.
Yeah, that's the only thing about having snakes, and
they're not vegetarian.
It's rough, because the bigger they get, the bigger the things they eat.
It's kind of like a little break in between stuff, and it was just neat. It was so different. After that, though, we went into the main attraction with the longest line, the Haunted Pyramids.
Thank God for that VIP.
Thank you for the VIP. We did not have to wait, but there was a couple of characters waiting at that front door
that was really cool.
That were just being so silly. It was like a demon character and his victim, and they just guarded the door and let people in one group at a time, and they were just funny. They were enjoying the music and just entertaining people. It was funny. Once you walk into the Haunted Pyramids, you're actually greeted by a table of celebrities. I didn't expect that. We knew there were going to be a couple celebrities there, and I had completely forgot that was going to happen, and I didn't know where they were. And it was as soon as you walk in, so you get an opportunity to meet a few celebrities. And that night that we were there, Naomi Grossman from American Horror Story and Billy Redden from Deliverance.
He's like one of the last remaining cast members from that movie.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. He was actually the little boy playing.
Banjo boy.
Banjo, yeah.
After you meet with the celebrities, you can get some autographs or whatever you'd like, some selfies. After you meet with the celebs, I don't know if they always have them there, but I guess if they do, they'll have them right there. once you're done with that, you start to walk through the haunt, and you're actually greeted by someone over a loudspeaker talking about the pyramids and you can hear like Egyptian music and stuff like that, and again, just all the handmade sets.
It felt
so neat.
It felt pretty legit. Walking like you were walking through like an old temple or something. Like, it felt really cool. I don't know if we encountered a haunt actor for a minute, and that actually added to the creepiness for me. When you go to as many haunts as we do, you expect a haunt actor at almost like every corner.
Yeah, and sometimes you're overly bombarded.
Right.
Yeah.
And when there's not, it's kind of creepy and almost like, oh no, what do y'all got prepared for us? You know, like.
Right. He did say he was missing a few people that night, but I almost felt like that was intentional.
Yeah.
There was a lot of simple practical effects, and there were not any like massive animatronics. It was just handmade props, and they did have a few like little things here and there, and the actors, and just the whole vibe and the music was very well done. I loved it.
It was awesome. Was it the pyramids where the guy had the Freddy glove and scraped it across the fence?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure because we didn't make note of that on our notes. But yeah, that was really neat.
That was cool.
That was cool. We did get a good shot of that. So again, check out that episode on YouTube. There was also an area in here where you walk into like a little bedroom, and the whole bed tilted upward. There was a girl on it. She like bounced in the air, and that was gnarly. Holy crap, I didn't expect that at all.
They had a lot of very acrobatic people in this haunt.
Yeah.
A lot of tall people too.
Yeah, there were.
The last haunt we went to had a lot of tall people as well.
It's funny. A lot of tall people are getting out of basketball and going into haunted houses.
Right.
That's cool. There was a lot of wide hallways, but then there was a lot of narrow spaces. That was really neat. Just like the back and forth of it. Like when I say wide, I mean plenty of room. So someone with a large like chainsaw could come through and just start whacking at you. Sometimes nothing happened. And again, like Dwayne said, it like added to the anticipation. You know, sometimes in like even horror movies, when things cut away and leave it to your imagination, it's almost scarier. So it's nice to get a little bit of that even in a haunted house while you're walking through. This one in the Haunted Pyramids also had another Michael Myers, and it was like a dirty Michael Myers. I remember Dwayne saying that he really thought that was spooky. Like I don't know, he was a spooky one.
He was creepier than the other Michael Myers to me. Like he was creepy because the way he came out and everything, it was really good. Didn't he let us into the room with the guy with the weird bird?
Yeah, he had a crazy looking face.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a really neat room. It was very well lit, like dimly lit, just enough for you could see everything, but not enough to see everything that was going on. That was really cool. Eventually, I ended up getting surrounded in this haunt by people with chainsaws, and I was just like, you're just wasting gas. You wasted all this gas with chainsaws. We're over here having a natural disaster in Asheville and needing supplies, and you wasted gas. Just kidding. But yeah, they had surrounded me. I didn't even realize it at one point.
We stepped in there, and I was behind her, and the guy kind of got between us, so I just stepped back and was just like, well, I'm sorry.
I'm dead. That was it.
She always is like, get Dwayne. Y'all get Dwayne, not me.
Yeah.
So
they came after me too. But yeah, once you exited this haunt, this is where it connected. This was that other area that I was talking about. I was like, what is that trail? And it was the other exit that connected to another exit. So that was kind of neat. I just love how they intertwined everything and they separated some things, and it just kind of kept you on your toes. There was nothing keeping to a formula. They just did their own thing, and they worked with the space that they had, and that's so much fun. I just loved it. It just worked very well for the space. They utilized the space that they had. It was so neat. And I remember walking out at the end there thinking, like, when I was younger, I used to daydream, and I even made this little model of a haunted house. I wish I had a picture of it or the haunt itself. It was just a small scale model of like a haunted house, and I used to daydream about making a haunt. And when I came out of this haunt, I was like, maybe I wasn't dreaming about a haunt I was going to make. I was just having premonitions of this one. Is what I felt like, because it was just so neat. I loved how it was just handmade, and it was made with love by another person who loves horror and who loves to create with their hands and loves to see other people just enjoying it. It was so much fun, and I could see everybody working there was having fun. I could see all the patrons that were there to enjoy Halloween and stop worrying about natural disasters. They were having fun. I really enjoyed the Haunted Pyramids.
Yeah, Haunted Pyramids was awesome. We originally had met them at CreepyCon.
Yeah.
Stevie had actually been like, I'm going to go to the restroom, and they were sitting right next to the restroom, and all of a sudden they're looking at their flyer, and the guy's like, hey man, I'll give you one, and like gave me a flyer, and we just kind of started talking, and they said, yeah, y'all come on out, and we'll let y'all film and everything.
Yeah.
It was actually the main guy and Dr. Venom, the guy who played Dr. Venom. Was
that's who we had met at CreepyCon. So, so thank you guys again, Haunted Pyramids, for allowing us to come out and film. Thank you for the VIP experience. We really appreciate it. And thank all of you guys for listening to our podcast or watching it on YouTube. Make sure you follow. Give us a 5-star rating to help the podcast grow and help other people catch on to this. Because like we said, we're just trying to share our experiences and help the world of the haunt community, the haunt world grow. Because I'm going to be honest, I just want haunted houses to last all year long and let it just be a normal entertainment thing, you know. Horror movies come out all year long, not just Halloween, you know. Why can't haunted houses be open all year long? Some are, and we're going to be here to bring you those experiences to see if you want to go check them out yourself. Because guys, there is a haunted house in your area, you just may not know it.
Yeah, just do a little research, because that's what we've done throughout the years, and we have found some very good places that we've actually become good friends with the people who run it or work there. It's such a great world if you're into that.
Another resource you could check out is the scarefactor.com. Will give you a lot of information on haunts in your state. But you know, another great resource, Destination Stone on YouTube is a great resource to find cool haunted houses and check out what they're like, and to see if, you know, maybe it's a haunt level that you can handle. Because we like stuff all the way from Disney style things to House of Shock that doesn't exist anymore. But if Phil and Samo would like us to come to his local home haunt, let me know, because we're down. Yes, we're down. All right, guys. Well, the sun is starting to set if you are watching this on YouTube, which means we are headed to another haunted house. We've got more haunts to add to this house, so the Haunted Pyramid has been added to the house. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Again, give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow us here on Spotify and give us a 5-star rating. Thanks for hanging out, guys. From us, Destination Stone on YouTube, this is House of 1000 Haunts. Oh, yeah.